welcome to Alts at Altitude. This is episode 3.
We're already here.
Is this becoming a thing?
I want it to be a thing.
Yeah, okay.
I just heard Eric give us an update that on YouTube we have double-digit subscribers now.
Wow, thank you.
34.
The joke I made the other day was that I've maxed out my extended family, so appreciate you. Dotsyns and Savages out there.
It's a lot of Browns out there, too, though.
Yeah, there is a lot of Browns.
There's a lot of Browns.
Are you related to all the Browns out there?
Every single one, so they should listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
Or watch it.
We are on a roll, is what I say.
Like it.
So I'm stoked for today. Today's a little bit more academic, though. I want to throw this out there. So real quickly, Eric's here. Travis is here. Claire is here. I am Kevin. We are your crew to carry you through the world of alternatives in IRAs and other tax advantage accounts. Last episode was episode 1 of our real estate directly in the IRA series. We talked about how it's done. We talked about non-recourse loans. Well, I'll get to in a second again. We just talked about how cool it was and how prohibited transactions. Mm-hmm. You can't let your mom stay there. The lineal, how do you say that word, Travis?
Lineal.
Thank you. That one.
The up and down.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. That's public school again. Claire declares like, I'll say up and down. Kevin will get that one.
I'll do a hand motion too.
Yeah, that's perfect. And so, yeah, we talked a lot about that. I'm stoked about today because this is kind of episode 2 in that series. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go into a little bit more detail. So I want all the listeners out there to grab your pencil because this one is our job today is not to be experts necessarily on these nuances.
That's
we'll
right.
get to. Our goal for today is to make you, listener, aware that these things exist so you can go to your team, your accountant, your lawyer, your whatever, and make sure that they are thinking about this also for you. It's just bringing awareness to it. These are the kind of nuances of real estate. Real estate cool? Yes. Mm-hmm. But there's some details in there that make it a little bit different. And today's that day. Exactly. Like last time, we talked about non-recourse loans. So yes, listener, you can have a mortgage in your IRA. Head explodes. That's crazy. But now we're getting into a layer deeper. And you know, if you have a non-recourse loan, which again is a loan that is guaranteed by the property only, is that correct, everybody?
Yep,
yes.
That's correct.
Versus a recourse loan that's your personal belongings and everything like that. Mm-hmm. You can personally do it. There are some nuances around and I've heard this term before. A lot of the people in this building. From our sponsor, New Direction. Shout out New Direction.
Let's go.
That are way smarter than I.
That's right.
Well, you don't have to answer that so quickly.
He jumped at that part.
There's no friendly banter in this episode. This is straight into
knowledge.
it, right, guys? Okay.
It's business.
No catching up.
Episode
All right.
3 is strict.
Just business. Okay.
Listener, it's been one of those days.
But that one felt personal.
Yeah. Listener, I'm just going to have a little confessional here. It's been one of those days. So, not every day, but we're going to show our imperfection as a team.
Okay.
Travis is like, what are you talking about?
I know, right?
It's been one of those days. So today's a business day.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
great.
today I'm just feeling like we need to get to business.
Yeah. Let's get to business.
Let's buckle up and go.
Claire has already given me a timeline on when we're going to get done with this podcast.
25 minutes to go.
Today is business. All right, back to non-recourse loans. So you can put a mortgage in your IRA. Badass. Yep. PG-13.
That's right.
But there's some nuances in it. And I've heard this term, UBIT. I'm going to spell it for you, listener. UBIT. UBIT. Okay. Now, when I first joined this industry of alternatives I was like, this is crazy. Like, first of all, cool word, UBIT. Like, I love a good acronym. But the concept of UBIT, it's still to this day hard for me to get my head wrapped around. So I'm going to pass it over to someone smarter than me. And it appears to be there's something called UBIT that's going to blow the listener's mind. Actually is a tax in a non-tax and a tax advantaged account. So Eric, give us a little, explain UBIT as though I'm a fourth grader, which is not that hard to think of.
It's not that hard. So, getting down to brass tacks, essentially UBIT is Unrelated Business Income Tax. And, I guess the easiest way to sort of sum that up is when you have debt financing on an asset,
Okay.
then you could be subject to paying income tax based on the portion of the asset that is financed by that loan. So the non-recourse loan in this case with real estate.
Let's pause there for a second. So we'll break that down word by word. Just kidding. Just a couple words. Could be is that nuance moment, right?
Yes.
That's where somebody who's a professional accountant would determine the could be.
Yep.
But there is a chance, what more likely than not, I'll throw that out there, that if you have a mortgage in your IRA that you use to help purchase a rental real estate property, that there could be a taxable moment inside, quote, inside the IRA at that time.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Something to keep in mind,
And so UBIT is called Unrelated Business Income Tax. I'm saying that slowly so my family who's writing that down can write that down. What else do I need to know about UBIT, Eric, as we give it to the rest of the team to kind of talk through this?
Yeah, so typically it applies to debt-financed assets like real estate. And in this case for real estate, it would be triggered by a non-recourse loan. And it's going to typically be proportional to the amount that is financed. So not necessarily the entirety of the asset, but the amount that you have financed for it.
Let me ask a question. If I buy my house in Vail, shout out Vail, as we all establish, I'm a Winter Park guy, though.
That's right. Vail is a truck stop.
It really is.
I like Summit County.
Yes. People like Summit County. I don't like Summit County.
We're equal opportunity mountains around here in the Rockies.
Okay.
That's good, Claire. She's always so positive.
I know. I love it.
On a business day,
yeah.
she is so positive. So let me ask you this question, Eric. If I buy my rental real estate in my IRA with just cash only, do I have UBIT?
Typically, no.
Typically, no. Again, nuanced.
Very nuanced, yep.
Again, this is it's going to be repetitive, listener. This is why you got to talk to like an accountant who understands this.
Right.
Yeah. And for clarity, we're not accountants.
We sure are not.
And so we're just making you aware that there's potentially something called UBIT out there. But then for clarification, if I do bring financing in, now I've opened myself to a potential of UBIT.
Yep.
All right, Travis.
Oh, gosh. All right.
Talk to me about the legal nature of good old UBIT.
Well, I think Eric said it best. We got to look at this and realize it's not a penalty on it. It's just a tax, and it could happen, right? As always, I'm going to go to our friends at the IRS.
We love you at IRS.
We love you. And I'm going to say the Internal Revenue Code, Section 511B1.
Sorry.
And the Internal Revenue Code 408E. And like Eric said earlier, it's not taxing the entire deal, but if an IRA uses debt, like a non-recourse loan, to acquire an asset, the income may be taxable in proportion to the debt. These rules are all also found in Internal Revenue Code, subsection 514.
I love that section.
Which is unrelated debt finance income, and Internal Revenue Code, section 512B4. And that links it to the debt finance rules for UBIT. So that's all just a mouthful to say, find an accountant.
Could you give me an in-depth comparison of IRC 514 and IRC 512B4?
Yeah, absolutely. So one is saying no, but like we've kind of flagged already, this is why it's important to kind of consult with a professional, do your due diligence, somebody you trust, maybe an accountant.
But this is an IRS thing. Is basically
this
what
is
we're saying.
all an IRS thing, right? It's in the code.
Can I ask a question really fast?
No.
Yes.
Is this bad? Is UBIT bad?
No, I don't. I think
No.
bad's a subjective term. I think.
Right.
I think it's just some. We talk about all the time about known knowns, right? We just want to make sure that people who are doing real estate. That's a great question. Have this known. They're not like, oh crap.
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
No hidden.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
So is it bad? No. I think it's the way I would look at it. This is Kevin talking. Is it's almost like the cost of having the opportunity to use leverage in your IRA. Think of it that way.
Yeah.
Like, if I want to use leverage, and there's lots of reasons why to use leverage. We're not here to tell you why or you should or shouldn't, but there's lots of reasons why leverage is great. There's a lot of reasons why people don't buy their own a home just with straight up cash, and they use more. Even Oprah uses a mortgage.
Okay.
So Eric can go Google why mortgages are good over there. But I don't think it's bad. I think it's just something that I think it's the awareness, and I think it's a cost, quote, of having the opportunity to do this. And the IRS is saying, look, we're calling that a taxable moment, possibly.
Possibly, yeah.
But go ahead, Eric.
It's more kind of like a trade-off than like a punishment per se. And being able to have that extra leverage allows you to potentially buy a better property.
Yeah.
Some people are comfortable with it. Maybe they're not, and they look at other options. But if you're comfortable with it and it allows you to make the investment that you're looking to do, then it's just it's a trade-off.
Well said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well said. I think we should not be afraid of UBIT.
No.
Awareness. That's a fun
Awareness.
segment talking about UBIT right there.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I mean,
Exciting stuff.
one of our founders loves talking about UBIT. But what we should do is have him on. We could interview him about UBIT.
Love it.
There are. We're not endorsing anyway, and this is going a little bit off the script, but that's just how I am.
Yep.
There are calculators out on the interwebs.
Yes.
If you Google UBIT calculators, there are tools out there that you can validate what your accountant is saying.
That's right.
If you'd like to.
You could use that tool.
You could. Thank you,
Love it.
Esquire.
You're welcome.
Could use it. We're not saying like he can't help himself. listener.
UBITcha.
Ooh.
Oh,
You
shit.
Did y'all
betcha.
like that?
Oh my
She
god.
comes in with the zingers.
She's
my
been
God.
waiting the whole
Oh my god.
podcast to say that.
That one truly
Listener-
just came to me.
Listener, we're gonna pause for a second and let that moment just live there. I call BS on it. Claire's been working on that one for a good 24 hours.
That's it. You know what? I know a Chat GPT joke when I see one.
Y'all, I did not even know what a UBIT was before coming into this room. So debunked.
You betcha.
Oh my God.
I mean, now I'm kind of pissed off we didn't come up with a bunch of those.
You know what?
That
That's
was good.
Perfect title for the video.
All right,
You betcha.
listener, here's the big summary on this one. There's a potential for taxes in your IRA if you put rental real estate in it, typically called UBIT. Look it up.
That's right.
We want to make sure you're aware of it. Don't be afraid of it. It's a cost, if you will, of having the opportunity, and it's a trade-off, like Eric was saying.
That's right.
So after the break, we're going to answer this question. What if I don't want to use leverage and I don't have enough cash in my account to buy the property that I want to buy? There's an answer, listener.
What?
And it's coming after this break. Enjoy the voice you're about ready to hear. At New Direction Trust Company, we believe that an alternative IRA is more than just investing in things like real estate and private equity. It's about the freedom to diversify and invest in what you know and are passionate about, like the local pub down the road or your friend's startup. You choose it, we help you invest in it. With an account manager by your side, we put the relationship first to ensure your investing experience is seamless, streamlined, and intuitive. So, start your alternative IRA journey today. And we're back. That was very exciting.
I was excited.
Heyo.
You bitcha.
You betcha.
That's too good.
I mean, I feel like that should be a T-shirt.
It's got to be a T-shirt.
You betcha.
It'll be in our merch store. The link's in the below.
Oh, when
Just
do we
like
get a
that.
merch store?
Whenever you want.
When we get 100 subscribers.
Oh, I love that
If
goal.
we get 100 subscribers, I promise there'll be a merch store.
And we'll start giving things away.
I was going to say,
Guys,
what?
don't making promises we
Oh,
can't
yeah,
This is
afford.
that's right. Yeah, that's
exciting.
right. We
First
can't.
100 subscribers get.
Yeah,
If you give us a donation,
We'll
I
find
want to
out.
make it very clear that Travis is going to use his own money on that.
that is not true.
We've maxed out our podcast budget.
Budgets. Yeah, it's gone.
Hey, listener, for those that are watching, we have new cameras.
Yay.
So if you that are on YouTube and we look 8K,
Ooh.
that's the reason
better.
why.
And
We've been trying out different camera settings.
Our producer has promised that our camera is on.
Yeah, I just checked.
That's true.
Yeah.
Last week, if you remember, Travis and I.
I don't want to offend you guys in any way, but I just find it a little bit coincidental, maybe,
Okay.
that our most watched podcast was one when you guys weren't on it.
That seems sus.
You know
Okay.
what? I'm not going to take that.
That's a
I'm
challenge
not
for
gonna
this
take
week.
that in. I'm
Yeah.
going to deflect that.
You're going to deflect that.
Deflecting
You're
that.
pushing away the negative
That's right.
energy.
And I'm bringing in the positivity.
All right, listener, back to the program here. So we're again in the second episode on real estate directly in your IRA. Why I keep saying directly is because there's other ways we're going to have episodes on, like if you had an LLC. But there is another nuanced way to do this. My favorite word, nuanced. And so, Eric, again, the question on the table, which we have these nice, cool little things. We should have a game, squirrel, for our listeners to determine every episode, our watchers, the ones that are watching this, to determine what's new on the set every podcast.
We definitely do have a few new Easter eggs in the room here.
Yeah.
Please comment.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe
on
they
what
can
you
get
find.
the first giveaways.
But you can't comment unless you like and subscribe.
True.
Listener, you are literally listening us making up the podcast strategy in real time.
This is an immersive podcast, okay?
But I think that's what makes it the most fun.
I think so too. You are an active participant, listener, in us trying to figure this out. All right, big question on the table, my friend Eric. I don't have enough cash in my IRA to buy the house in Vail, rental real estate. I really don't want to have to deal with leverage. That seems a little, I don't know, UBIT. I don't want to deal with all that crap. Stuff, trade-off. What else is on the table for me to do?
Yeah, so something that a lot of people can explore is partnering, and we're gonna try to cover at a surface level as much as we can, but it can get complex. Just as an FYI, but sort of the three main things that we've seen come across our tables before is, you can partner with other IRAs. So the main thing to think about here is your IRA acts as its own entity per se. So, it can partner with, other IRAs. It can also partner with non-IRA funds. And here's the other kicker. You can also partner with yourself.
Hold on. Let me say this back to you so I understand. My IRA can partner with Travis's IRA.
Yep.
Or Claire's, whoever.
Yep.
And so they come together, pool the funds,
Yep.
and go and buy the property.
Exactly.
My IRA can partner with Claire directly as a human being, not as an IRA, but say Claire's got $100,000 sitting in her bank account.
Yep.
We can come together in an agreement, a partnering agreement, and with me as my IRA and my IRA's funds, her personal funds can come together and buy the rental real estate.
Yep.
That's number two. Now this one blows my brain.
This one's the fun one.
The third one. My IRA, so I have an IRA, and we've established throughout these episodes, all three of them so far, the IRA is its own entity. This IRA can partner with myself as an individual.
Exactly.
So my IRA has $100,000 in it. I individually have $100,000. I partner in an agreement between the two of us.
And you can buy half bath in Vail.
I can buy that half bath.
Not the half bath house, just one half bath.
Yeah, with
Just
no
half a
water.
Oh,
The bathroom cost $1 million.
Wow. So let's
but very cool. Exactly.
let's break this down a little bit, because some of this blows my mind, actually. Just to be completely transparent with you, listeners. This is next level stuff. So let's talk about partnering with other IRAs. That one seems the most obvious to me.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go there, Eric. Talk to me about partnering with other IRAs.
So you would find the investment, talk to whoever you want to partner with, and essentially when you structure the deal, it's done by a percentage. So say you and I are going in on a house and you put in 25% and I put in 25%. Let's go 25% all around.
Oh.
all four of us put
A
in
share
25%.
I don't know if I want to share a house with Kevin's IRA.
Yeah.
Ooh, that might be.
Yeah.
I heard it doesn't. It
Just
doesn't
for
do
this
the
example.
dishes.
Just for this
My IRA is
example.
very naughty.
It's very dirty. He doesn't do his own laundry. Dishes are in the sink.
Oof, yeah, he's a bad housemate.
Yeah.
Well, good thing he can't live there.
Well, no,
That's
his
true, it
IRA.
would-
is.
Oh, look-
clarity,
That's right.
Claire. Coming for
Bringing in the prohibited transactions.
Do you know that Claire took today as business to heart?
I sure did.
Yeah. All right, Eric.
All right,
So now you're.
so-
Go ahead.
Okay, we're all in 25%. That means our IRAs own 25% each of the property. We pay the expenses proportional to our amount of ownership, so 25% each, and then the gains come back with that same proportion level of ownership. So 25% all around for us, and that applies to however you structure your deal with whoever you're partnering your IRA with.
I'm gonna have to assume though, because we talk, and we'll throughout all the podcasts we'll talk about this a lot because it's a big part of alternatives and IRAs. And I'll pass this to Travis. I'm assuming this is where the same disqualified person's kind of rules still apply even though we're partnering. So let me give you a scenario, Travis, to help kind of set this up. Using Eric's example, we all have 25% of this place in Vail. Can my mom stay there?
No.
Because
She's considered a disqualified individual. And then, again, our buddies in the Internal Revenue
love you
Service.
guys. I would love for you to tell me what the Internal Revenue Service code is that tells me that.
Subsection 4975, C, 1, C, and D. Shout out. And that's just basically saying that furnishing of services or use of planned assets for the benefit of a disqualified person could potentially cause your account to.
So
lose
even
its
though
tax advantage.
all four of us, even though we have a quarter of it,
That's right.
all still have to play by the disqualified person's rules.
People, things, rules.
So
Because we're all investors at that point.
yeah, it's a great. Say that again.
We are all investors.
So
at
we
that point.
have to think of it as an investment.
Absolutely.
It's not like we were joking around that we're all going to be roommates.
No.
It's the opposite. We can't do anything really other than own this place, and we all agree upon getting a property management
Well, we get
manager.
we get the privilege of paying 25% of the expenses,
Oh yeah.
And
There
we
you go.
get 25% of the dividends back too.
Ding 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 ding.
rental income.
All right, Eric. So that one seems pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
All four of us have an IRA. All four of us throw 25% of the value of the asset into it. We all are on the hook for 25%. We all are on the hook to make sure, as investors, to Claire's point, that we are not doing prohibited transaction, just like we bought it straight up by ourselves.
Yep.
Got that one. Everyone got that one?
Yeah.
I feel that one's pretty straightforward. Now, let's start getting into the little bit kind of ones that blow my mind.
Yeah.
So partnering with non-IRA funds, the individual funds, personal funds.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, we kind of broke them down with partnering with non-IRA funds, but I'm just for time's sake going to kind of lump that into partnering with yourself because that's also we're going to view that as non-IRA funds.
That's good.
Just to make it a little bit easier. So you can, like you were saying earlier, Claire somehow has just stumbled on $100,000 cash, doesn't know what to do with it, wants to invest, decides to partner with you with your IRA. Again, you would structure the deal. It's proportional, so however much she puts in is proportional to what she gets back. Same thing with your IRA, and it gets a little bit trickier when you are partnering with yourself. So you put in your own personal funds. It's interesting, and maybe Travis can kind of paint a little bit more, of a better picture on this. But you're not necessarily a disqualified person when you're partnering with yourself. That's one that is a little bit tricky for me to understand because typically you can't do anything with your home, but you're kind of a separate entity in this whole situation when you're partnering with yourself. So I don't know. Do you have any advice on that?
I believe the word of the day is it's nuance.
It's very nuanced.
It's very nuanced.
Because I think where it gets tricky, at least from my understanding, I think is, when you own it outright in your IRA, you can't pay for any upgrades. But we talk about this idea of it being proportional. So, say you do 50-50 your IRA, and then, the other 50% is your own personal funds. You are paying for 50% of the maintenance, whatever it may be, but you're not necessarily a disqualified person in that scenario. Seems
That's
a little tricky.
It is a little tricky. I mean, you've got to remember that just proportionality is very big here. I think that's kind of the buzzword that we're saying. It's, you've got to make sure that 50% is of any expense. The dryer is 50% IRA, 50% yourself. I mean, it could be as nuanced as there's 4 walls in the room, you paint 2, and your IRA paints the other 2. That's kind of a
extreme example.
Extreme kind of absurd example, but that's one of the things we have to make sure. Like, there's a plumbing bill. You yourself will have to pay 50% of that plumbing bill, or whatever proportion you're partnering with your IRA, and the IRA would be responsible for the other portion. So it does get a little more tricky, a little more nuanced, and again, I think that's why we're flagging it for something that you might want to talk to a professional about before you get into that kind of structure.
It does seem a little bit more complicated, if you will, but it does seem awesome that that's an option.
That's right.
Like so many opportunities to be able to collaborate with your own funds in different accounts, using them as different entities to be able to purchase an investment.
I think that's a great point. I think the overarching theme of this second episode in the series is that there are different ways to do it. You can do it. You could pay all cash. You could do leverage with cash. You could partner. There are things that we need to think about when it comes to these things, like UBIT, things like that. But I think the overarching thing here is that the goal of today has been to bring awareness. And so, listener, as you're starting to think about possibly buying a rental real estate in your IRA, you do have options, to Claire's point. And we're just bringing awareness to those things. There are nuances to each one of those things. And again, and I know we joke around it, but I'm being serious here. This is, if you're going to go down this path, this is when you definitely need to talk to somebody who knows what they're doing, their accountant, to make sure that you're not finding yourself in a tax situation that you don't want yourself in. I mean, that's the best thing we can say is that, companies like our sponsor, New Direction, and other custodians, they're here to be a platform to allow it to happen, to like facilitate it. But again, it is your responsibility as the investor to make sure that you are setting it up so it doesn't become a prohibited transaction.
That's right.
And that's where you bring in lawyers. That's where you bring in accountants. So there's a little bit of cost there too. But to Claire's point, what an opportunity.
So cool.
So cool.
It just opens so many more doors, options. I mean, people that might not necessarily be able to do a, typical real estate transaction, they can now explore all of these different ways that they could potentially make it happen.
And you're going to hear us say this more and more in these podcasts. The thing that drives me and gets me stoked is that we provide platforms that allow people to invest local. And there's something I learned a long time ago. You invest in what you know.
That's right. Yeah.
And if you know, quote unquote, for those listeners that are just listening, I'm using air quotes like an adult. If you know properties are going to go up, if you know there's going to be great cash flow from rentals because there's a high demand in condo land of Broomfield, Colorado. That's what I call it, condo land.
Shout out Broomfield.
Beautiful. Beautiful Broomfield. Then I always say, like, the people who I feel do sometimes the best in their investment are investing in what they know. And what a great opportunity to invest in real estate in one of your most important accounts.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
So cool. All right, gang. A little teaser for the next one. There is no teaser, actually. Because we got to plan it still.
Yeah.
We are looking to we've got a few dozen or so requests out there to people who have gone down the path of using their IRA to invest in companies and to real estate, and actually interview them about their experiences.
That's
I think
cool.
would be helpful.
Yeah, that's
so
very
we have a handful of those people in the hopper, and I'm pretty stoked about that actually. And so again, thank you for listening. Today was all about business.
Business day.
Today was business.
Strictly business.
Business in Boulder. You betcha.
Bye, listeners.
Bye.